And howdy, everyone. Welcome to Tilson Live. It is Tuesday. We are coming at you live as we do each and every week. We are your gracious hosts. I'm Eric Allerid, part of the fourth generation of the Tilson family, and I'm joined by Don Dancer, our Vice President of Marketing and Customer Experience.
I was going to say, I almost got a promotion.
What you wish for? How are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing wonderful, Thanks, everyone, for joining us today. Please jump into the chat. Tell us where you're watching from. Tell us where you're building. Tell us what part of the process that you're in. If you are just now considering building a home on your land, if you are under contract and you're going through the design phase, or if you're under construction, or if you're completed with construction and just want to stop in and say howdy. We want to hear from you. So We are here each and every week to answer all of your questions related to building a home on your land. Of course, we are specific to Texas, but if you are thinking about building a home on your land, really anywhere, this is the place where you're going to get the most up-to-date, current, most experienced information on the planet. Prove me wrong.
All right. Bold statement.
Bold statement. So anyway, yeah. So what we want you guys to join in, hop in, tell us where you're watching from. We will be monitoring the chat as we do. But Dawn, tell us today, what will we be discussing specifically?
So today we are going to talk about our Driftwood model out in Georgetown. So we're going to show you the actual model. It's an all-time favorite of everybody and very popular. So we wanted to show you what the Driftwood looks like. So.
Yeah, it is one of the most popular floor plans. It kind of started our big cedar truss back porch trend.
Yes.
That now has spawned on just about every modern floor plan that we have as some type
we figured out how to put it on just about everything.
Pretty much everything.
Popular.
Yep. It's like Frank's Red Hot. So we are, and shout out to Frank's Red Hot sauce. Good stuff. So We're here to discuss that, but obviously we are here to answer all of your questions. We know that there are all kinds of things going on. People asking about prices and timeframes and interest rates and design questions. So we're here to talk about all of those things. We will talk about financing if you want to. We will answer questions on site preparation because building on your own land is very different. If you need water wells or septic systems or water lines or sewer taps or permits or all that kind of stuff, we are here to answer all of your questions. But Dawn, we got any folks joining us just yet?
We do. We have Will, who is joining us from Klondike. Howdy,
Will.
We've got Linda, who's watching from Arlington. We're building a Whitney D in Maypearl. They just finished the spray foam installation. Oh, awesome.
Oh, fantastic. Cool. Send us some pictures if you got that. It'd be great.
Yeah. We've got Rebecca, howdy from Kyle, building in Driftwood.
Howdy, Rebecca.
We've got Renee, greetings from Salado, building a LaPorte, and we'll be in Georgetown this Friday for our design appointment. Wife chooses colors, and I just stand there nodding. Good times. Good plan.
Smart man, Renee. Very smart.
Yes. That'll be fun, though. We've got Lynn and Teresa building in Bandera. What is the estimated time frame from start to finish on the Driftwood? We started the process in January and have been pushed back twice. We are now scheduled for November.
Okay, so Teresa, I'm guessing your schedule that's for release to construction. And we could probably pull the release board up and verify that. But we're still telling people you need to be prepared for about 10 to 12 months of construction. We're not seeing an easing in supply chain delays like we would like to. 1 week we'll see some easing, and then the next week something else will be 8 weeks out.
Right.
And the biggest part. What I will tell you in Bandera, something to start working on now would be you're talking about permanent power. So I don't know specifically who your power company is, and maybe you're already set up, in which case don't worry about it, Ms. Saucier. But that's one of the things that can be a big holdup is permanent power. So start those conversations early and often with your power provider you haven't already. But the time frame, that speeds up the time frame or slows down alternatively. So that will get you closer to that 10, 12 month mark if you're doing that. So if your power is there,
it's all permits and power done. So.
I mean, okay. So that means that you have a rack built that has a transformer to it, and you can walk up to it and it powers things. Then you are in great, great, great shape.
Awesome. All right. We've got Martina. Hello, beautiful Tilson team. We have HVAC, power, water, and stone has been delivered. Awesome. That's amazing.
So frustrating she's only talking to you. That doesn't make any sense. But I appreciate it, Martina. That's nice.
We've got Cassidy. We built the Driftwood almost 3 years ago. Actually, I have yours in here. So yeah.
Congratulations, Cassidy. You're going to be on the show.
You're famous again. No, they did something special with their garage. So I've got them in there in the presentation. We've got Cleveland. Howdy, going to be building a Republic Grand Ranch. Awesome.
Nice. Wendy was there this morning doing pre-construction meetings with Caleb. So I know we got 2 that are about to start construction in Republic Grand Ranch right now.
Oh, that's great. And then we've got a few that are in sections without streets. So
yeah, that's an issue too. Or power, or water, or roads. Yeah.
We like to be able to get to the places.
So yeah, we know we've got. Thank everybody hop in and join us.
Mm-hmm.
Again, keep hopping in. Keep asking questions in the chat. We will be talking about the Driftwood, of course, but ask us all of your questions about building on your land. We are here as a resource for you. We're here to make the process a little bit smoother for you, remove some of that unfamiliarity, and remove some of the friction as much as we can. And but Dawn does have a pretty special kind of compilation put together, again, like a very creative way that we're looking at all the various things that people have done with the garage of the Driftwood. So that's very, very exciting. And so let's get into that.
Let's get in. So this is the Driftwood model. There is a little magic done here to help people visualize the driveway, because of course in Georgetown we don't have a driveway because we don't park cars in the model. And also now that garage is actually the design center, the color room for that office. So, but little magic happening there, but very popular house because it's got that great combination of stucco and stone. It has a 2.5 car garage, so it's got that place for all your toys, and that is part of the main plan. So that's included in the price of the home, and just great cedar accents. It's just a beautiful, beautiful house.
It is, yeah. It's been a great inspiration for many design changes for people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then looking just at the floor plan, it's 2330 square feet, 3 beds plus a study that's very easily converted into a 4th bedroom if you need it. It's got that beautiful open concept kitchen. It's got the cathedral ceilings in the family room that go out onto that covered porch that we were talking about. That's just absolutely gorgeous. You've got the split bedrooms happening. So your master suite is on the complete opposite side of the home from all the other bedrooms. So everybody has their own private space. You've got that wonderful utility room that serves as a great, drop space for things. It's got its separate powder room for guests. Just great plan. So just something that our customers really gravitate towards. It's one of my personal favorites. Just a great home.
Yeah, people love the one dining area, no formal dining.
Mm-hmm.
Although you could, if it's in the study, if you wanted to do that instead. But it's
right.
a very, very large dining area. As big as some of our formal dining rooms and a lot of other plans. So you can put that big country table in there and have that country kitchen where everybody's in there eating, walk-in pantry. Like that part is very, very appealing to a lot of folks these days.
Yes. So let's go ahead. I have videos prepared from our tour because we've learned through trial and error that Wi-Fi is not great in our models. So we often lose connection if we try to walk through them physically. So we use our videos now. But let's go ahead and look at the exterior of the home.
Let's check it out. So as you walk up to the Driftwood model here in Georgetown, you're going to notice, of course, the live oak trees that surround it and all of the exterior features that we've used to really truly around the area. So your stone, your cedar, stucco, all the things you're going to see are things that you would see occurring in nature around you here. So as you walk in the front door of the Driftwood model, the first thing you're going to see is going to be striking how much light comes into this home. It's really designed for that country living, the rural lifestyle, and what our customers are really after. You're going to see lots of natural light coming in through the large windows of the family room, the breakfast nook area, as well as even the front study area, all flooding into the family room and really converting that space into a great place to just gather. So the family room, you're going to notice, has a nice large vaulted ceiling, which really adds to the volume of the space. It continues out onto the covered patio, the same vault. You're also going to notice that we've put a fireplace with a full stone face in our family room, which gives it a nice focal point. The home can be built with or without that. It also opens very largely up into the kitchen area, which is a great place for everyone to gather, hang out. They can be where people are cooking and preparing food, but also still in what's going on in the family room where everybody's gathered.
So yeah, you can see that family room is just amazing with all the natural light that's coming in. Just absolutely.
Did my quick shirt change from green back to black real fast. So I'll knock that out. Yeah, no, that's the, when you're walking into that front door, seeing that ceiling soaring up into the air is just it's amazing. It really is an impressive home. Mm-hmm. And we have it pretty lucky there in Georgetown. I mean, it's one of our most beautiful locations. We've got live oaks that are, the size of my computer monitor. I mean, monsters, live oaks throughout the property. We got up lighting in them, so kind of gives you that the idea of what your rural land can look. And behind us, it is rural. I mean, there are armadillos and there are raccoons, and our land actually goes down quite a ways. We have a fence behind there, but our property technically goes down almost another 200 feet, and it's wild for now.
Yeah, at one point we actually had a red fox that was living on the back porch. Like they would go out in the morning and shoo her out, and she lived under the furniture back there, and she's very respectful. When we were open, she went out, and when they closed the models down, she came back. Yeah,
well, she went to work. She has stuff to do. I get it.
Yeah, she's got stuff happening.
She did not work from home.
We did have a couple of comments come through. So we got a question from YouTube. If we have the same LVP flooring throughout the entire house, I assume no thresholds are used going from one room to another.
Yeah, typically not. It would have to be kind of a weird situation, only where they were changing directions, but that doesn't usually happen. So, I can't imagine there being any need for any kind of threshold or transition pieces. I would leave that up to the flooring company. Weisenbaker does a really, really good job on laying that out. But yeah, I don't. If it's true, even the bathrooms, if everything's all LVP, there's really no reason.
Yeah, I don't see why they would need it. Yeah. And then we've got Glenn, who's just checking in. Howdy, building in Livingston B in Henderson County. Painting inside this week, and we'll finish tile installation next week. Awesome.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
You're coming on the end.
Actually, it looks like Glenn in his image, he's playing is that a Fender Stratocaster? I think it's maybe a Telecaster, one of the two, but looking good.
Okay, good. And we've got Deirdre saying, hey, Deirdre, how's it going?
Well, howdy. How are you?
Thanks for joining. You are just in time to see the kitchen of the Driftwood.
Let's go see it.
Special treat. All right.
So really the centerpiece of the Driftwood model home is the kitchen. And what really is neat about those design features in there, you're going to notice a nice level workspace on the island that's large enough to accommodate not just folks gathering there and snacking and hanging out, but also a great place to prepare the meals that you're getting on through your day. You got a farmhouse sink that's there, nice, big, deep, and able to prepare a lot of food, clean pots and pans. And also you're going to notice the cooktop opposite that on that range wall with beautiful subway tile, lots of cabinet details. You're going to see full extension drawers like you do in all of our homes. You'll see some pull-out trays for easily storage of pots and pans, and just beautiful, nice, exquisite design details that go into that kitchen to make it a great place to work. So one of the best parts about the kitchen of the Driftwood is the large walk-in pantry that's built to accommodate that rural lifestyle country living where you have to go to the store and gather a whole bunch of materials for the week or two and come back and have a nice place to store it neatly and efficiently. So you may not notice at first when you walk in, what appears to be a breakfast nook is actually a larger dining space that is immediately off the kitchen that can be used as a breakfast area, but also as a formal dining area. It will accommodate a very large table for up to 8 people, and it's a great place to sit there and take in those morning sunrises or the evening sunsets.
Beautiful.
Did I mention the dining space? Did I mention that?
Did you mention? Yeah. I am a big fan of multi-purpose areas, so I like having... that's a nice big space. You don't really need the formal dining room unless you just, have grandma set and you really want a place to feature it.
And told her you'd keep it.
Yeah. Or told your mom that you keep it. I have
no issues.
Very weird glassware that came to me that way because it was great grandma's and we had to have cordial glasses. I don't even know what that is. I don't know what that's for, but I have it.
Cordials? Oh, cordials is a cocktail. It's a drink. It is one of the.
Big though,
I know. Well, that's all you need. That'll get the job done.
It looks like a fancy shot glass, but I feel like I'm supposed to put something a little bit more like.
That is exactly what a cordial is. It's a fancy shot.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. Not something most Tilson customers don't run into that kind of a struggle. I get it. So anyway, no,
Family's
great
German.
space.
They had special glasses for everything. I don't know.
Oh yeah, every course got its separate.
Yeah.
The island all being one level, that is a trend we've seen for a while now, and I don't see that going away. Like it's a great use of this. It seems like you get more space because you don't have to worry about the 6 or 7 inches going up. But I don't know. I'm curious to know people's thoughts around. Do you care if people can see into your kitchen? Because I know you've mentioned that before.
Yeah. My family's not big on doing the dishes, so I don't like you walking in and seeing a sink full of dirty dishes. But that one, we did upgrade the model, so it has that big farmhouse sink, so you could probably just dump everything in there,
rake everything into the sink.
Yeah, just rake it all in, and
perfect.
All right, guys. So let us know where you stand on islands. Do you want the multi-tier? Do you want
do you like the raised bar top that hides the sink, or do you prefer the all one level, one big surface? We'd love to hear your thoughts, so let us know in the comments. Also, ask any questions you want to ask. So about financing, about design, about site preparation, about the Driftwood.
Dear just saying she loves the large walk-in pantry, which, it's a great feature on this one. And Glenn is saying that's a Mexican Strat.
Mexican Stratocaster. Okay, I thought so.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I appreciate that. It's very pretty as a model. I just always look at houses for how my life is going to be, and my family needs a barricade.
We need a barricade.
We need a barricade.
Yep.
Let's see. Teresa says 1 level. Martina says 1 level. Big surface for baking and cooking. Cassidy says they love the large island and it's 1 height. Awesome.
I'm noticing a trend.
I'm losing. Yeah. Wendy, hands down 1 level. You guys have a neater family than me. That's all I can say.
Well, look, none of them are coming out saying we clean the dishes after every meal. They're just saying, hey, if that's not your deal with it. You can go somewhere else.
If it bothers you, you do the dishes.
Right. Yeah. Tear it up. Go right ahead.
Excellent. And then we've got Lisa, who's coming in from Medina County, building in Granbury. Had HVAC late last week and roofers today. Just picked new LVP and very happy with the Cortec options.
Yeah,
they're pretty. Yeah, I was very, very excited when we saw those. It's good stuff. And Linda says, I like the 1 level big surface, but my husband liked the 2 tiers. He won on that one. Okay.
Wow. Linda, you are a saint.
You
very
are.
Sweet.
Wendy says I'm only 4'11" and I don't need my counters taller than I am. That's awesome.
Awesome. That's funny. Yeah, well.
That's fair.
Yep. I like hiding things from my short wife way, way up high. That way you don't have to worry about
using the cabinets over the fridge.
Chocolate muffins, Oreos, things that I should have sole access to. They go up high.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Rachel, now you know.
She doesn't watch this, thank goodness.
All right, I'll send her an email.
All right, what are we looking at next? We after the master?
We are going to look at actually all the bedrooms.
Oh, very cool. Okay, well, folks, drop your comments and questions into the chat. We will answer them all today.
All right.
So immediately off the family room, but its own sequestered space, you're going to find the best part of this home for the owner, and that is the master suite. You're going to see a nice large bedroom that's big enough to accommodate oversized king-size furniture, nice tall ceiling, windows that look out the back onto your land, which is the reason you're doing this in the first place, is to enjoy that outdoor space. And then that opens itself up to one of the most luxurious master baths that we've ever designed in a home. You're going to see dual vanities, dual linen laundry hamper cabinets that have a lot of custom unique features. You're going to notice one of the largest showers we put standard in any home, as well as a large soaking tub for you just sitting and relaxing in with a big window looking at the outdoor space. And one of the finest features of the master suite is the separate walk-in closets. There are 2 separate walk-in closets in this home, which is really unique to it. So the 2 spare bedrooms of the home are completely opposite the master suite, which is great for both parties. So the master suite has their own space for the owner, and then whether you're having a growing family with kids being on the other side or just having guests over to stay the night, they have their own private sequestered space that's separate from the rest of the home. They have a bathroom that they share, and the bedrooms are large enough to accommodate really large furniture and have beautiful views of your outdoor space. Yeah, that master, all the natural light. It's one of the best.
And that bedroom is enormous because that is big furniture that is in that room, but you don't feel it at all. And yeah, the two large closets that are separate are just, they're amazing. And that bathroom, to be fair, this video was recorded before we built the LaSalle, but I would say that the Driftwood is still the most luxurious bathroom standard.
It is, yeah.
The alternate master bath that you see in the LaSalle model kind of takes the cake. But
we went ham sandwich on as bathroom standards go on that
we
one.
did. We were like, they always want to top themselves, so I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Waiting for the next one.
Also, the idea that it's a true split floor plan, right? So, I mean, the master suite is on one side, then you have the entire family room, entire kitchen area, all the way over to the other. I also have seen some customers that if you are big on the utility room close to the master thing, perhaps there is a way to do a pass through on this particular plan if you wanted to do that. So
yeah, because they are close together.
Very, very slight modifications, but it can be modified to do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. Let's see. We've got a couple questions that have come in. Renee is asking, if we are putting in our own septic system, should we wait till stakeout to make determinations about that, or go ahead and start the process?
Okay, so Renee, you can certainly go ahead and have conversations with whoever you're considering doing the design and or installation. But yeah, don't I wouldn't pull the trigger on anything as far as location until we have the site evaluation come out there. So I know you're in Bell County, I believe, and so let our land preparation specialists meet you out there. They're going to get some land. They'll shoot some grades, which will help with that where the septic's going to go. Maybe you have a great idea already, which is fantastic. There are some hard rules and regs about how many feet the tanks themselves can be within how close they can be to the house, as well as how close the tanks can be to property lines. Same goes for the sprinkler heads on for the service application, if it's a service application, how close they can be to the property lines as well to any other dwelling. So they'll help you kind of lay all that out. They have all those rules and regs and can help with that. But definitely if you're somebody like making phone calls about it, finding out what the process is like, with pricing and things like that, by all means, it's never too early to start that process.
All right. We have Earl asking, when will the Angelina model be ready to view in Waco? Great question. Yeah,
great question. So we just authorized to boot back up. We had stopped at the slab stage so that we could work on other people's houses with those resources and try and catch up a little bit. And we have now made the decision to move forward and re-kickstart that up and start framing on those. So we're going to have a talk with Richard Webb, who'll be overseeing that project tomorrow, and we're getting an update on timeframes. So it'll still probably be, a bit. It's going to be because we're going to do kind of one at a time to keep things going and be sure we're not using up too much resources. We can still have other houses under construction in the area that are getting attention. So I think that Angelina, we're probably starting with second, if I have my notes right. So you're probably still looking at 10, 12 months before it's completely done. But we are going to have some milestones, are we not?
Yes. So we'll be stopping along the way and letting people do kind of like see the models before we put up the sheetrock. So we'll do tours of the mechanicals and what that looks like, because it's kind of a view that a lot of people don't get unless you've actually built your home. So we'll show you that. The other thing that's going to be fun with Waco is that one of the models will be spray foam and the other one will be the bat insulation. So we'll be able to show you directly the differences between those two. So, but we'll be having events. We've also talked about doing notes of love on the framing for the model. So there'll be a time for people to come out and write notes on the framing, inviting people from Waco to come and do that, and any of our customers who want to come and bless the model with us. So we're excited about that. So we're excited that we're getting going, and I know that team there is very excited about it too, because they've been hanging in there for us.
Very much.
We got Robert and Linda, who are building a Driftwood in Fredericksburg. They just had HVAC put in and they're waiting for water and electric.
Awesome. Okay.
We got Cassidy, who's saying and by we she means I, took the huge window in the bathroom, took out the huge window in the bathroom because I was a scaredy cat, even though we are in the middle of nowhere, and it's my biggest regret ever. Oh, I'm so sorry. So you don't have to take it out. We could have just obscured it too. So that's another option.
I don't think you're helping the situation, Dawn.
I know, I'm sorry. But for everybody else, not for Cassidy, it wasn't offered when Cassidy built. This is a new thing, brand new thing, Cassidy. You couldn't have done it. But
the feedback is awesome, Cassidy, because you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. You know, we try to have the conversation with folks like, hey, look, you're in the middle of like 8 acres or 4 acres or whatever. Like,
right.
if someone is close enough in that situation to see in your window, you got a whole different set of problems than what they're looking at. Now, why are you here? But yeah, so thank you for sharing that feedback, because it is something that people need to consider. Like, yeah, in the subdivision that you're moving out of course, no one likes having the big 4x4 window over the master tub looking at your neighbor's picket fence, right? Or worse, your neighbor's kitchen window. So,
or worse, your neighbor. Yeah.
Or worse, your neighbor. So yeah, that's awesome feedback. And so yeah, think about that, folks. Is that it's different. Where you're moving to is different from where you're moving from. So let the light in.
All right. John has a question. He wants to know, how do houses with spray foam insulation dissipate heat from the attic?
All right. Well, the good news, and but he also said hello.
Yes, and then he also said hello, everybody.
You must have your formal introduction before you can ask questions. No, that's not true.
So, no, he went the other way. I'm showing him in the right order.
I love it, John. Okay, so the good news is it actually contrasted to a home with bad insulation. The attic doesn't get as hot, because technically some of the conditioned air is in the attic. So it will not be the same temperature as the home below, obviously, but it's really only ends up being about usually 15 degrees or so hotter than it is down below. So if it's 72 degrees down below, it's only going to be like 80 really 83 to 87 degrees up in the attic. So it doesn't get the 120 130 that it does in a house that doesn't have spray foam. The other thing is there's heat and there's humidity. Okay, so if you've ever been to Vegas when it's 103 versus Matagorda when it's 103, those are two very different feelings. All right. We have dehumidifiers in spray foam homes to extract that moisture. That's what we're really more concerned with in a spray foam home than the heat itself, because it does not get as hot in those attics. The humidity is what we got to get out of there, and we do that with a dehumidifier. So that's how it's done. And sometimes what feels like heat, like on the skin, is really humidity that you're feeling. Because, for example, if we didn't do this in a spray foam home down below, let's say in the living space, it would be 74 degrees. Okay, but 74 degrees at like 75% humidity feels very different than 74 degrees at like 50% humidity. So our goal is to keep that humidity around 50% or lower. In a lot of cases, it is lower, 30%, 30 to 40%. But as long as it's lower than 50%, 54%, you're okay. And that's how you actually feel cool. That's what an air conditioner does. It conditions the air. It extracts the moisture out of the air. The cold air is a byproduct of it doing that. So anyway, dehumidification is key on spray foam.
Best byproduct ever.
Agreed.
Like cold air. Yeah.
Agreed.
We've got Wendy saying that would be great since we're building an Angelina. So she's excited to see it coming through. Martina is asking for the casita. What does the floor plan look like? If you reach out to one of our new home consultants, they can actually send you that floor plan. It looks sort of like a square. It's got, it's standard designed with 1 bedroom on it. The one that's going in Waco will actually have 2. So it's got several custom options and things that we can do to it. Cassidy is laughing at our exchange on our windows. So she made it small to match the bedroom one above the bed, and her husband reminds her of it on the regular. Oh,
yes. Well,
be like that.
Just remember that as husbands, we get very few victories. So the ones we do get, it's a trophy, and we're gonna hoist it high. Okay, so that's just the way it is. and we don't mean anything by it. It's one of our little victories. You can giggle and go on about because you get 9 out of 10. So give us our little win. Give us our W.
All right. Wendy says she was going to ask about the pass-through to the laundry for the master. I noticed that most floor plans have the laundry on the other side of the house. I'm not a fan of the white cabinets. I know it's on trend these days, but I still like the wood-looking cabinets. I see a lot of your models online, and that's what attracted us to Tilson to begin with. Hope one day to own a Tilson home of my own. Oh, great.
Well, so do we.
We do too. And then Rebecca says we're about to price out driveway. Do y'all have any ideas as to what they are going for these days?
I think you were in Driftwood, so kind of the Hayes County area. I don't have current pricing on that in the back of my head. I would prepare yourself for probably somewhere in the $8 to $10 a square foot range potentially. I just don't. I'm very sorry I don't have it there, but we could. Your builder would have an idea probably, or could make a couple phone calls and get an idea, but. What'll also depend on, Rebecca, particularly in the hill country, is why it varies so much out there. Is sorry, camera, it's blurry, but there's what's referred to as flat work, okay, which is what driveways and sidewalks are historically referred to as, which simply means that it's 4-inch thick concrete, whereas a foundation has beams, right? So you got the concrete, and then you got beams go down below. And so flat work is priced differently. Now, in the hill country, what we find is, guess what? It's not. It ain't flat. So it makes it a little bit tougher to do just flat work, because there's also usually some kind of tractor or excavation work that needs to be done. The driveway may be 2 or 3 feet below where the garage is, or the sidewalk maybe 2 or 3 below where the entry is to the home. So those are some of the things that are hard to price into the price per square foot, because they have to bring in material. They may have to do some additional tractor work. They may have to do higher forms. They may actually have to do kind of a small beam around one side of it or 2 sides of it to make it has a good footing, so it doesn't kind of slide off. So those are things that's why we don't have just a set price in the Central Texas area. And it's because the sites vary so much compared to, say, North Texas or the Gulf Coast area, where it's relatively flat. We can say, okay, it's going to be $7.50 a square foot for flat work, and go from there. So get a price and be sure that they've seen. I wouldn't just take a price over the phone or on their website. I would want them to see my property. I'd want them to see where the garage is and see where the front door is, and you have walked with them and give a very good idea of exactly what your expectations are.
Make sure they have the understand, like, I want the car to be able to drive into the garage.
Yes.
So.
I don't want a loading dock. I want a driveway.
I want a driveway.
Well, loading docks are often moving, but only that day.
Yes, just that one day. Amy wants to start a fight. She says she just wanted to say hook 'em horns. So I will let the comments just have at that, because we're coming into football season.
We are,
and
yeah.
We'll look at the study. Yeah.
I remember when I was excited about joining the SEC too. It was pretty cool. It was pretty awesome. I don't remember going 5-7 though. I don't remember that.
All right, let's look at the study now. Bye.
So one of the neatest design features of the Driftwood is also going to be the study that we have outfitted here in the model home. What's really great about the space is it's a flex space, so it can be used as a formal dining room, or it can be used as a 4th bedroom if you need that for a growing family. When we designed the Driftwood home plan, we really had a lot of feedback from our customers on being able to enter that utility space from the garage and how they would like to use that space. So we took those features and incorporated this utility room, which is really large and accommodates a stand-up freezer for, again, those families where they don't live close to a town and need to buy a lot of food. You got plenty of place to store that. Obviously, your washer and dryer can go there. You have a large countertop space for a workspace in there, and a nice large half bath where you can come in, you can take your muddy boots off, wet clothes, and have a place to store all that before you enter the main part of the home. So the garage on our model home is a 2-car plus, in that it has another kind of half garage on there for any kind of toys or riding lawnmowers you might have. And obviously, as with all of our plans, it can be customized to whatever size you need.
All right.
It's a big garage. Very big.
It is a big garage. It is a big garage.
And like you said, now it's hard to take it in because it's our design center, right? So all the colors are in there.
But luckily, we have pictures of it ahead of time. We still have a Matterport ahead of it, so you can kind of get the sense, because when you walk in right now, it's tile and pretty. Actually, you guys saw it a couple weeks ago. That's where we were.
We were there.
We were in a garage. But about that garage, Eric, you mentioned that we can change it up. So I just wanted to show some of the ways that we have seen people kind of change that garage. So we have made it a full 3-car garage, because it is 2.5. So we actually showed you guys this one a couple weeks ago, where we just make it bigger and make sure that it can fit 3 full cars. We have done on Cassidy's house. This is what we did. We actually angled the garage, because the reason for that garage orientation is the Driftwood was actually designed for kind of like narrow lots where you didn't have enough room to really stretch out, but you still wanted a large garage. But a lot of our customers don't have that issue. So this is a good way to kind of get a wider house and have some different visual interest on it. Probably one of the more common things that we do is, and we do this a lot, is move the doors to the other side. And this is just, sometimes it's a personal preference. Sometimes it's an ACC and, an architectural review committee thing that they want it on the other side. So this is something we do pretty frequently. We just move them around. So they're
And
on the other side.
pause on this one, Dawn. This is a good example we were talking about earlier on the flat work. So, for instance, you see that now they did this one with crushed rock. Okay, so this is a gravel drive, which is totally, I love it. It looks really pretty. But if this were concrete, you see how thick the front of the house foundation is and how far off the ground. So this one would probably, going back to Rebecca's question, this would have involved some tractor work or some bringing in more material to get it up to within 3.5 inches, which is how thick a 2x4 is on setting for flat work. So this would be an example of where if they gave you a price over the phone and it came out, they would probably say, oh, well, that we got to charge more to get you up to this height. So this is what I was talking about. You didn't know that you did such a great example, but you did.
Yeah, which Martina is actually saying that did happen to her. She had a loading dock. The sports car can make it, but just barely. So we need to be specific with our driveway, guys. Yeah. All right. We've also made it a front load garage. Some people preferred that. This is a really, really long garage, which is kind of cool. They have a lot of space behind it. And in some cases, we take it off entirely. We also have a pre-designed sister plan for the Driftwood called the Cypress that comes standard without the garage and has the layout is already adjusted for that lack of the garage. So if this is what you're thinking about, I would recommend looking at that one.
Go back to the next slide. Sorry.
Front load?
Yep, the front load. So this is, again, so what you're seeing on the right in front of the garage would be typical, just 4-inch flat work straight up. But as you look where it goes towards the front door, which is beautiful front double doors, by the way, as you go towards the front door, you see how it's going uphill. See how thick? It's maybe hard to tell on your screen, but the concrete gets very, very thick as you start to approach that front door. You can see
it's got a little bit of a...
Exactly. It's ramping up to go in there because you can see the house is falling. The lot, not the house. The house is fine.
Not the house. The house is staying put.
the lot is sloping from the right to the left as you look at the front of it, and so to compensate for that and keep the sidewalk going to the door, you can see they had to make it considerably thicker. Definitely a hill country home. You can tell by the trees and dirt, and so that's something again that you want to have conversations. I'm not trying to belabor the point, but this is why we don't have fixed set pricing on flat work in the Central Texas area because it varies. Driveway, totally fine. Sidewalk, different animal. So you want to be as accurate as possible on that. And that's why I suggest getting them out there to get a bid.
Yeah. Perfect.
And as Forrest Gump says, that's all I have to say about that.
Okay. All right. We have Kelsey who is chiming in on the Amy conversation because she forgot who her boss is.
I think she just don't
Kelsey.
Loyalty. We love you, Kelsey.
We love
you. Despite your imperfections, we love you.
Yeah. And then we have Brian who's saying, I would love to use Tilson and really want to. However, it's hard to commit because it's close to 18 months to start building. So that's going to vary a lot depending on where you are. But yeah, I mean, build times, unfortunately, are long now. I mean, in some areas, I guess this might be the case. We'd have to know kind of where you are, but we would rather be honest with you upfront about how long it's going to take and let you be prepared for that than tell you something.
Only really about 3 or 4 counties
that
would be truly that right now. Everywhere else is we will be started for sure in less than 18 months. And a lot of areas we'll be finished in 18 months when you make the paperwork. But there are certain hot pockets, Williamson County, Burnett County, Gillespie County, Travis County, Navarro County, where you will be looking at least 12 to 14 months, and in some cases 18 months before you can start. And I think I just
that's the counties we're referring to, Teresa. It's just I mean, they are honestly the biggest areas in the country. The entire country for building right now. Lots of people moving into those areas from outside the state. Lots of people moving into those areas from inside the state. So yeah, it's tough there.
Yeah, ignore what you're hearing on the news and on the internet. Housing is not slowing down in Texas. It has not slowed down. Yeah. What has stopped is resales getting 12 offers in 8 hours, about $40,000 over asking price. That has stopped. But new construction has not stopped. There is no more labor than there was a month ago. There's less. There is no more supply than there was a month ago. The housing supply has not spiked like the Fed wants it to. It went up real high right away, and then it has leveled off at about 500,000 houses nationwide available. That's not very many. They're looking for the millions. Okay, we've gone from 300,000 to 500,000 after all kinds of rate increases, and the supply is not there. You can't just magically make houses appear,
right?
Particularly in those hot areas of the hill country and that I-35 corridor. I mean, there's a long way to go before we catch up.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well,
as an industry.
Yeah.
So yeah, folks, I mean, obviously ask any more questions that you want. We're going to be here to answer them. So if you got any questions about the Driftwood itself, any of other designs, pricing, interest rates, site preparation on your land, everything, selling your existing home. We know there's some folks kind of going through that. Again, that's really all that we've seen shift mainly. It's gone from, okay, instead of your house getting multiple offers over a weekend, and then you get to sit there Sunday night and go through them all with your broker and pick the highest one. That has stopped. So if you do have a home you need to sell, you need to have a more serious conversation about that with your broker or with your realtor, because they are sitting a little bit longer, and you're not getting over asking. Okay. By the way, they're sitting at I think the average right now is 35 days.
Yeah, I was going to say by sitting longer, that's really not long.
No. 4 to 5 months is the historical industry average, is how long you should expect your home to sit once you put it on the market.
Yep. It also means that showings are a lot more palatable. Like, you're not getting influx of people and all these people touching your things and messing with your stuff. I don't like it. Let's see. Why don't we go ahead and look at the back porch, and then we'll come back for.
All right, keep putting your questions in. We'll be glad to answer them. I see a couple stacked up, so we'll answer them when we get back inside, because it's hot outside. We won't be out there very long.
Yeah, no, we're not going to stay outside very long. Here we go.
So obviously our customers are building on their land, and one of the most important things to them is being able to enjoy that outdoor space, and we've really done a good job of incorporating that on this particular design. The outdoor space of the Driftwood is really one of our best designs of the entire portfolio in the way that it brings that outdoor living space in. You can open the double doors and really have a full-size living space outside and inside, so you really get 2 rooms in one. So as you approach the Driftwood, you're going to notice all those outside features, and we do a really good job of bringing those outside features to the inside, which is something our customers are really after. All that stone work, the cedar work, you're going to see it on the fireplace, you'll see the mantle, you're going to see a truss that's on the outdoor living space that really brings those outside features and natural finishes into your home, which is what most of our customers are after. All the detail work and the trim, the carpentry, the flooring, your plumbing fixtures and light fixtures all tied together to really make that space your forever home. Thank you again for joining us on this tour of the Driftwood model home in Georgetown, Texas. If you have any questions about this design or any of our other designs, feel free to visit our website or give us a call. We'd love to help you out on this journey. We hope to one day soon make you part of the Tilson family.
All righty. So that is the famous back porch. The porch that spawned a million other porches.
The granddaddy of them all, yes.
Yes.
But it is beautiful. I mean, that's why that's why our customers are buying this rural land. That's why they want to be outside. They want their independence. They want their privacy, and they have typically very beautiful views.
And you can see, and that the porch does a great job of framing out views. We've done many a Facebook social media posts of look at the view that they're going to have, and it's just it's amazing. It's an amazing space. So just love that house. Just love it. There are a few other things that you can do to customize your Driftwood. So I'm going to share those real quick, which a lot of you know, but if for those of you who don't, most of our home plans actually have interactive floor plans on our website. So you can go in and see, these are the ones that our drafting department has pre-designed for you. So these are changes that we know are going to work. Your dishwasher's going to open, everything's going to work. You're going to have enough room to walk around, and just a few things that we've noticed over time that the customers are making, specifically changes to this plan, but also things that are popular in other ones. So for the Driftwood, what you are seeing in the model is the alternate kitchen, and that's what puts in that farmhouse sink, and all of that makes the island a little bit bigger. Farmhouse sink makes the cooktop a little bit larger as well. There is an option to add a stone arch over the. Sorry, add a stone arch over the cooktop. That's really pretty. It's something kind of reminiscent of our San Jacinto because we have a lot of people who love that look. We already mentioned that you can do the fourth bedroom in place of the study. So the usual layout for that is that your door is going to be off that main hallway. But we also seen people put the door on this side if they want it to be more of a private guest space. There is an option for a mother-in-law suite. So that's going to turn this, turn this whole space into your mother-in-law area. So you take that study, make it bedroom 4, adds its own walk-in closet, its own sink area, bathroom space. And then it also converts this bedroom 2 and bedroom 3 into a Jack and Jill when you do that. Or you could just do the Jack and Jill by itself if you want to kind of change how they share that bedroom. We also showed you in our model, we do have the fireplace that we added. So this is where our recommended location for that. And then this plan also has a bonus room as well. So when you add these stairs to the bonus room, that's going to shift around these bedrooms. It also pushes your pantry back a little bit to make room for those stairs. And it adds the whole second floor.
Nice.
And what that looks like in person is this. So your front is going to stay the same. You can't really see it from the front of the home that you've added the bonus space. But on the back elevation, you are going to see you've got that second story. So it does change what the rear of the home looks like a little bit. And then these are actual pictures of that bonus space. So it's a nice, bright, huge, one big room that you could just use as your game room or your kids, for your kids to just go have at it, be loud, do whatever they want to do up there. So it's just a good option on this plan.
And it's also why we do these custom options, right? I mean, it's so that a lot of people, I want a bonus room. You don't want to just kind of leave it to chance on how that's going to work, because you've got the big, beautiful cathedral ceiling to go with, the other ceilings in the other rooms. You got HVAC layout that it affects, electrical layout it affects, insulation that it affects. I mean, so there's so many things. Getting a staircase in a house is no small feat. It's not something you just remodel and add. Like, you want to be sure that that's planned out very, very carefully. And it's why we made these custom options this way, is so that our design and drafting team is already, we've modeled it. We've got it in 3D. We've done all the lumber takeoffs for it. Like, we know it's going to work. The door swings are going to work. All that stuff is going to pan out, as opposed to, and again, not to say we can't deviate from those. Of course we do, but we know those work. When you start deviating from those and Frankensteining a house up too much, you could have some unintended consequences. So
absolutely. All right. Well, we have a question from Brandon. Building a Laporte and a Lotes, building forms for the foundation currently. Do we have to wait for house to be completed before we build our own deck?
I would, Brandon, just because I don't want us to tear something up. That's our biggest thing. I don't want to tear something up that you intend to be a permanent, beautiful fixture. So I would just ask, maybe coordinate with your building superintendent, but historically it's for sure at least till the outside of the house is done. But these days I would tell you that it could actually hold up a closing. If the appraiser goes out and sees that you are still doing some kind of construction on the home, even though it's not ours, they may say you can't close until now that's finished. And so I would tell people typically wait till after closing. Plus, also, we will have done our final grade then, so you have a better finish to work with. It won't be all that rough grading with the big pile of dirt out there. We will have knocked all that down from the beams and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be a little bit cleaner work conditioned. And my recommendation always is to wait till after closing.
Okay. All right. And Rebecca is asking, do you have to go with your lender or can we go with another one?
Okay. So a couple clarifications here. First, and this is a little bit mind-blowing, we don't have a lender. Right. We do not own an interest in a mortgage company. We are not affiliated with any mortgage companies whatsoever. We do have some really, really good partners that we've been using for a long time. AMCAP and currently CMG Financial. So those are currently two lenders that we have customers use probably over 80% of the time. Again, I'm going to reiterate, there is no financial benefit to Tilson whatsoever. There's no affiliated business agreement. know nothing. The only reason we send people over there is because we know they're going to get taken care of, because they are fluent in on your land building, because it's a different animal. A lot of other lenders talk a really, really great game when, particularly right now with interest rates. Oh yeah, we can get you this rate, whatever, and go. I can tell you, if you're already under construction and you go switch to a different lender,
don't do it.
You can. You're adding at least 30, probably 60 days to your closing, because they're going to tell you, oh no, we can use everything. They're going to have to redo the appraisal. They're going to redo all the documents. They're going to be confused when we tell them how the lending works. Like it's going to be. So if you want to add a couple months to your total time, that's a good way to do it. If you are doing it for you're concerned about the rate, what I would ask is that you at least let the company that you're with, whether it's MCAP or CMG or whoever, give them a shot to match it. Say, hey, look, I'm being quoted this. Here's all, because there's more than just rate. There's rate, there's fees, there's all kinds of different things, and you want to be sure you're comparing apples to apples. But you could go with another one. We cannot tell you can't go with another one, of course. But again, it's not our lender. It is simply if you go with these lenders, you are going to get taken care of and your closing won't be held up. If you go with another one, I can almost guarantee your closing is going to be held up. They're terrible, with a few exceptions.
And the other thing that I will say, Rebecca, because we're seeing this happen right now, a lot of those, if you're talking to any lender, well, ours know better, but if you're talking to a non-preferred lender, if they're trying to pressure you into a rate lock as part of the way to get them to switch, please talk to your builder before you agree to any of that, because they're coming up with some crazy timelines telling you, oh yeah, it's going to be fine, but they've never done on your lot before. So the bank is not the expert on when closing should be. Always go to your builder or talk to them about the time frame before you have this rate lock that's going to create more pressure on your build and just more pressure on you and more stress. Because we are seeing that now, that there are a lot of outside lenders that are approaching our customers and saying, hey, you just lock to this, switch to us, it's going to be great. And it's causing a lot of stress on everybody as we're getting to that finish line. We've got Megan saying, meeting with my builder in September. How long on average is actual building time in Chambers County?
I'm telling folks 10 to 12 months right now. If we get done faster, great, but plan on 10 to 12 months. I plan on 12. If we get done in 10, great.
Okay. Teresa is saying, coming off our back porch, we added a 20 by 20 slab. I wanted to put an outdoor, and she corrected herself to fireplace on that slab, and was told that Tilson does not do that type of work. Can you explain why?
Yeah. We don't do like outdoor fire pit areas that are detached from the rest of the home. All the fireplace options that we do are integrated as part of the walls of the home. So whether they're outdoor fireplaces or indoor fireplaces, and we do both kinds, gas, wood burning, all the above, it's part of the incorporated into the design. It's not a separate detached. We don't have any options for it to be separate detached. It's not somewhere we operate. So it's a comfort level from our trades, our vendors, our suppliers, what they're good at. And we don't really like guinea pigging on customers' homes.
Right. Okay.
If we can help it.
Robert and Linda are asking, hey, you guys, wondering if you have a picture of a driftwood with the stone surround in the kitchen. I do not know of one offhand. I will take a look, and if I find one, I will post it up there, because usually, for the most part, when our customers start doing that, they've usually changed some other things too. So I need to kind of take a look and make sure what I'm looking at is stock, because the only one that I can think of right now, I think they actually just did the whole San Jacinto kitchen with it. So we see that a lot. But
yeah.
And Kelsey's backing me up. She doesn't know one either.
Yeah, Miss Georgetown, I know that you can. It's going to look very similar to the LaSalle. If you can just picture the back wall of the LaSalle. Only I said because the ceiling height is closer to what it is in the Driftwood versus what it is in the San Jacinto. The San Jacinto will have a 9-foot ceiling in the kitchen, so it's going to be a little bit taller than that. And the LaSalle would give you a better idea of like the cedar beam and the stone going around that. If we can't find an exact photo.
Okay. And let's see. Will is giving a shout out to our warranty team. He says they're awesome and that it would be nice if other warranties were as good. So sorry you're having problems with somebody else, but thank you for the props to our team.
Things will, yeah, we appreciate your comments, man. I know stuff like I will go to bat to some degree for like HVAC contractors right now. They are buried. They were understaffed before, things went crazy in construction, and certainly before we had 8 weeks of no rain and 103-degree heat throughout the state. I mean, they're running with their tongues hanging out, and there is nobody to help them. They're having a hard time getting parts. They're having a hard time getting personnel. They're having a hard time getting parts for their trucks when their trucks break down, going out to service customers' houses. Like it's a nightmare. It really, really is. So bear with them, bear with us. Appreciate your positivity, Will, all the time. You got a great attitude, man. We appreciate you jumping in.
All right. And that is the last question I see. So if you still have some, start typing.
Spectacular. All right. So, well, first of all, thank you, Dawn, for putting this together. Folks, if you got any other questions, like Dawn said, this will be last call. This was very cool, seeing all the different garage styles live. Super slick. That was nice. So we're here for you guys, right? You can find us here on Facebook or here on YouTube. Obviously, we have an Instagram page. According to Dawn, we now have a TikTok account.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep saying it until Kelsey puts up the first video. So
we don't have to. We don't have to do that.
Okay, we don't have a TikTok. It's fine.
We also, obviously we have the website. Get a hold of us, all the time. We have a team of new home specialists there to answer all your questions. And then we also, of course, have all of our locations that we'd love to see you, welcome you. We are doing in-person seminars pretty much all over the state at this point.
Yes. Right? Yeah, we have several coming up over the next couple weekends, and I'm about to put the September ones. We'll put them up at the end of this week. We have just about every location. I still have a couple that haven't come on, but we're working on them. But it's a good opportunity to go and meet some other folks who are building on your lot in person, and talk to them and see what's going on. So
very much. So obviously we appreciate all y'all hopping in, asking these questions. Doesn't have to end here. Tilson is your one-stop shop resource for all things building on your own land. So if you have questions, hit us up any way you want to. We hope that you get something out of this. We hope that you learn some things. And of course, as we always say, a well-informed buyer is a happy homeowner. So until next time, we hope to make you part of the Tilson family. We'll see you guys later.
Bye, everybody.